2024 South African elections. Exciting. There hasn't been a moment in history in our elections in South Africa where social media and the internet is this big. Everybody's a political analyst. Everybody's a political expert. Everybody is intelligent. Everybody vlogs as a professional, and it's a great thing. It's the democracy and freedom of speech. People have got platforms to air out their views, air out their dissatisfactions, air out their preferences and their debates, and I think it's an incredible thing. This is democracy at play, where people are just talking about politics in one of the most exciting elections of all time in South Africa. Some people have been saying lately, I think since the past year or two, but the 2024 elections are like the 1994 elections in South Africa. Some young people are even saying 2024 is our 1994 because they were not here in 1994. And these young people are highly opinionated, they're educated, they are smart, they follow politics, they're even way more involved in politics than your ordinary adult person. I'm not as informed as I should be with politics, but I can't help but talk about these elections. I'm a South African, and I also do know I've got friends all over the world, and I've got some audiences in some parts of the world, and it's my responsibility as a vlogger as well and a podcaster to sort of keep some people abreast who follow my work about the South African elections, especially the people that follow me from Zambia, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Botswana, America, Nigeria, Ghana, and all these amazing and incredible places. It's an exciting time in our country. Now, let me put you up to speed. You've got our ruling party, which is the ANC, the party of the late great Tatu Mandela, may so rest in peace, who ran for one term in presidency. Then we had to Tatu Mbeki, who ran for one term in presidency. Then we had to Tatu Jacob Zuma, who ran for 2 terms. And towards the end of his second term, he was basically was kicked out, for lack of a better word, same as the previous president, Thabo Mbeki. And a lot of people were saying from Polokwane Times, Uguti, it's going to set a bad precedent. Like, is it going to be like this forever, where every ANC president doesn't finish their term? Because we are setting a bad precedent with kicking out Thabo Mbeki before the end of his term. With that being mentioned, it happened, and then we got into Jacob Zuma's presidency, and then he got kicked out as well, which, you know, followed the same pattern. And right now we're in President Cyril Ramaphosa's presidency, who is now currently campaigning for his second term. And then what happens? The military wing of the ANC, which is the MK, was disbanded many years ago. And MVA was formed, and it was also disbanded just now a few years ago. And some people went and registered a political party, and they gazetted, and it went out to the public 14 days, as they say, when I listened to their speeches, and nobody contested it. And then another 14 days, I think the IEC sent them back again, gazetted again, and nobody contested it. And right now we know there is a very big court case where you've got the ANC up against the MK party, which has got its face being the former president Jacob Zuma, who announced on the 16th of December that he will remain the member of the ANC, but he will throw his weight and campaign for this new MK party, which actually comes, or its historical origins come from the ANC. It was the military wing, and you've got a lot of these elderly people who are disgruntled. A lot of them we've even heard on some of the cash money heists that happen in South Africa, that some of the people that commit those heists are so military advanced that they even suspect that some of them are soldiers. So it shows you the disgruntlement with a lot of people hungry, a lot of people unemployed, a lot of people feeling neglected, a lot of people feeling like they don't matter in society anymore. So you've got a political vacuum in the country, and this amazing youth political excitement that was brought about by the EFF. And then all of a sudden, from nowhere, the 16th of December, our former president announces to throw his weight towards the MK. So there's never been an exciting time in South African politics than now. So everybody's just talking about these elections. Everybody's talking about the EFF, MK, the ANC, the DA, BOSA, Rise Mzansi, and a lot of people are very, very engaged with these elections. Let me tell you something that is very interesting to me though. The former president Jacob Zuma said he will die an ANC member. I know many years ago, that Julius Malema once said that as well. But with these old guys, it's different, man. These people are wired different. Like their loyalty is different, especially Babu Mundonjongo, Babu Msholozi. So that person is intelligent. This is a person who's not academically trained or educated. But Justin J, he is a natural born intelligent person. You know, I've never seen a person who becomes a president without having gone to school. But Justin J, you can just see the way he plays his politics over the years. He is a very highly experienced politician, and that's all he knows all his life, being a politician. And he is in his 80s. So you just sit but wonder, why did he make these decisions that he made? And at some point he was trending for having had tea with Ubab Julius Malema, and some of us thought maybe at some point he might announce that he's joining the EFF. At some point we're seeing him having conversations with his son Duduzane, and as Duduzane was trending like crazy over the past 2 years and talking about starting his political party and running for presidency, at some point we thought maybe because they are a family they'll probably be in the same political party somehow, right? And then just something interesting really happened. Duduzane launched his party and there was just silence. And he's an incredible young man, he's intelligent, he's smart, and he's got all the capabilities of being an incredible leader, you know, potentially. So everybody's got a potential of being a leader, you know, everybody's got a past. But I really do believe in everyone's potential. But I never saw them supporting different political parties, Duduzane and his father. Now we're in this situation where MK, after it announced that the former president was going to be campaigning for it, or after the former president announced with his own mouth, within 24 to 48 hours, they had about 1 million members online registering on their platform. So then you sit and wonder, like, the power of internet, the power of digital penetration right now in South Africa in 2024, as compared to the previous elections, which is just hardly 4 years ago, as compared to the previous elections, which is hardly 8 years ago. Now imagine when you are comparing it to 1994. Digitally, where the internet is now, that's why I say these are the most exciting elections than ever before, because everybody's got a voice, everybody's got a cell phone. You know, usually or ordinarily, a lot of people would rather prefer not talk about politics because people know how controversial politics can get, and religion. But these elections, you are seeing everybody's talking about them. Everybody is involved, and you should too, because it matters. Patriotism, this is your country. Your children's future relies on these elections, and you're still alive right now. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next elections. But right now, where the state of our country is, everybody should be having a voice. Everybody should be having an opinion. Everybody should be registered to vote. And everybody should be heading to those polls and registering. But let me tell you what is interesting for me. Ubab Jacob Zuma said he's going to die an ANC member, and then he supports MK, and we all know where MK's origins come from. But I highly suspect somehow there will be a move in the future. I don't know, either to merge MK with the ANC or to have some sort of relationship, or are these disgruntled older members of the ANC who've just started their own party, or are these disgruntled ex-MK veterans who've just started this thing, who might get irritated with the plans of it either merging with the ANC in the future, or maybe possibly or potentially working with the ANC in the future. But that future, you and I both know that it's inevitable, right? Because we do know that in based on the historical data and the latest polls and the latest by-elections, we do know that MK will be getting a lot of votes in the KZN. We do know that IFP will be coming back into the picture in the KZN in these upcoming elections. Why? Because ANC is not as strong as it used to, in the KZN especially. When they had Umsholozi for quite some time, and coming from the KZN and having that big voter constituency of the KZN supporting Umsholozi as somebody who comes from there, who understands that region, gave the ANC some sort of strength in that region for many, many years. But right now, so these are the most exciting elections, guys. Will the ANC emerge victorious? Will young people be hiding because that's what a lot of 2000s are saying. Young people are saying they'll be hiding so hello, you're a grandmother, you're in your 50s or 60s when you're watching this video, make sure you've got your ID next to you, because 2000 are not playing. They're saying they want to be hiding your ID because they're saying you are going to vote on sentimental connection to the ruling party, which is the ANC. I don't know. But one party that we all shouldn't take for granted is the EFF. It's the only party that has grown from election to election in history, in the history of South African elections, because all the parties that broke off from the ANC in history, well, you and I both know that they go on not to succeed as much as, they could have wished to. After a couple of years, they sort of fizzle out, or they get left with like 2 seats or 3 seats in parliament, or some of them just, vanish into thin air. I mean, what happened to COPE? What happened to the UDM? Yes, they're still there, but those are breakaway parties from the ANC. But the EFF was the only party to break away and focus on the youth constituency and speak that language and push the superior logic language and communicate the land issue so well and communicate their cardinal pillars and show and lead by example to go get educated and push education, but still be relevant on the ground, still be able to mobilize, still be able to speak the people's language, still be able to be a Pan-Africanist organization. But then there's certain issues where these political parties differ, right? And I think that'll be a video for another time. But for now, I just want to say I am interested to see what's going to happen after these elections. You and I, let's vote. Let's make sure we are on the polls, and let's make sure that we exercise our right. And let's talk about these politics. Let's be engaged. Let's debate. Let's argue. Let's go back and forth. But let us not fight. Let's just have a verbal sparring. Like as I've just said, I like the EFF's tagline, superior logic. Let's debate. This is our country after all. If you don't talk about politics because you are in the fear that they're controversial, or or people are going to call you names, it's the same as religion. It's the same thing. Don't be afraid of having a debate and having a verbal sparring with other people and just airing out your own opinions. This is your phone. This is your data. And these elections want you to be involved. They want you to be knowledgeable. They want you to know your history. They want you to be in the polls and making that mark and voting for your political party of your choice. I love you. I'll see you guys on the next video. Danko.